Did you know there's a creature with a brain 5 times heavier than yours? And it lives in the deep, dark ocean. Welcome to the incredible world of the sperm whale, a mysterious giant with secrets more fascinating than science fiction. From brainpower beyond imagination to using sound waves as weapons, this underwater marvel can dive deeper, hunt smarter, and even communicate in ways we're only beginning to understand. But here's the twist. Despite being one of the largest predators in the ocean, the sperm whale doesn't bite its prey. It swallows it whole. And that strange waxy stuff in its head, it's not what you think. It might be the ocean's secret to deep-sea diving. Before we dive deep into these jaw-dropping facts, take a moment to subscribe to our channel Cosmic Why, where curiosity rules and every why leads to a world of wonder. Ready? Let's uncover the unbelievable truths about the sperm whale. The deep-sea legend you never knew was this smart or this weird. The sperm whale is the animal with the largest brain ever known on Earth. The brain of an adult sperm whale can weigh up to 7.8 kilograms, which is more than 5 times the average human brain, which weighs only about 1.4 kilograms. Surprisingly, although the blue whale has a much larger body, its brain is smaller than that of a sperm whale. However, this does not mean that the entire giant head of a sperm whale is the brain. In fact, the brain only takes up a very small part of that massive head. The majority of the volume of the sperm whale's head is a unique biological structure called the spermaceti organ, or gyeongnam in Korean, roughly translated as wax chamber. This is a special mass of liquid wax surrounded by fatty tissue and muscle, accounting for more than 1/3 of the total length of the sperm whale's head. In English, the word sperm whale also originates from a historical misunderstanding. When European sailors first discovered this waxy substance, they thought it was whale semen and named it that way. Spermaceti, the secret to deep diving and super loud sound. The spermaceti is not a decorative mass but plays an extremely important role in the physiology and behavior of sperm whales. According to the prominent hypothesis proposed by Dr. Malcolm Clark, a British oceanographer, in 1970, spermaceti acts as a buoyancy weight, helping sperm whales dive deeper and surface more effectively. When sperm whales prepare to dive into the deep sea, the water temperature drops, causing the wax to solidify, increasing its mass and helping the body sink more easily without consuming too much energy. Conversely, when active in deep areas, causing body temperature to increase, spermaceti liquefies, reducing the weight of the head and creating natural buoyancy for the fish to easily rise to the surface of the water. In addition to the smart weight function, spermaceti is also a natural sound amplifier. Sperm whales are masters at using sound waves echolocation to detect and locate prey in the darkness of the deep ocean. The mechanism of action begins when sperm whales create a click sound in their nose. This sound wave then travels through the spermaceti mass, which adjusts the direction and increases the intensity of the sound before it is emitted into the environment. When the sound wave reflects back from the object, it is transmitted back through the spermaceti to create a sound map, helping the fish accurately locate the prey, even when they are hundreds of meters away. In particular, the sound produced by sperm whales is extremely loud, up to 230 decibels, recorded as the strongest natural sound ever measured from an animal. At this level, some scientists believe that sperm whales can temporarily stun or disorient their prey, although this hypothesis is still being researched. Not only serving the purpose of survival, the spermaceti was once an important target for exploitation in the whaling industry in the 18th and 19th centuries. The wax in sperm whales' heads was used to produce candles, lubricants, cosmetics, and even lubricants for sophisticated devices such as watches and machines. This was the reason that almost pushed sperm whales to the brink of extinction. Not only famous for its giant brain, sperm whales are also known as super divers in the animal world. This whale species can dive up to 2,200 meters below sea level, a depth equivalent to the height of 6 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. What is even more special is that each dive can last up to 90 minutes, a rare achievement in the world of mammals. To achieve this ability, sperm whales possess an extremely efficient oxygen storage and utilization system. Specifically, instead of relying on the lungs, sperm whales mainly store oxygen in the blood and muscles. This species has twice the amount of hemoglobin, oxygen transport substance, in the blood as humans, and especially the concentration of myoglobin in the muscles is 10 times higher than humans, even 35 times higher than pigs. According to deep-sea animal physiology studies, myoglobin not only stores oxygen, but also allows sperm whales to maintain muscle activity in conditions of extreme hypoxia. In addition, when diving deep, they are able to actively slow their heart rate even temporarily, stopping the blood supply to non-essential organs to save oxygen for the brain and muscles. This is an extremely effective survival adaptation, allowing sperm whales to hunt in places where sunlight cannot reach and pressure can crush conventional submarines. At depths of thousands of meters where light does not exist, sperm whales cannot rely on vision to find prey. Instead, they have developed a biological positioning system called echolocation. This is one of the most sophisticated and powerful natural sensor systems ever recorded in animals. The hunting process begins when sperm whales make clicking sounds through a special structure in their nose. These sounds are transmitted through the spermaceti and a structure called the melon, which acts as a sonar tube focusing and amplifying the sound in a specific direction. The sound waves then hit an underwater object like a giant squid or a fish and bounce back. The sperm whale hears these reflections through its lower jaw, which is connected to its inner ear, building a three-dimensional map of its surroundings. Incredibly, the sound produced by sperm whales can reach 230 decibels, louder than a jet engine, and the loudest natural sound ever measured from a living creature. With such power, they can detect prey at a distance of up to 500 meters, far exceeding that of dolphins or other whales by about 150 meters. Some researchers have even theorized that sperm whales' sound waves are powerful enough to stun or temporarily paralyze prey like giant squid, making them easier to hunt. However, this hypothesis is still under verification and has not been officially confirmed. Sperm whales are a species of toothed whales, but if you look closely at the structure of their mouths, you will discover something quite unusual. Sperm whales' teeth only grow on the lower jaw, while the upper jaw is completely smooth and toothless. This surprises many people because they often think that sperm whales, like killer whales, will use their sharp teeth to bite and tear their prey. However, in reality, sperm whales do not bite and tear their prey, but often swallow them whole. Studies from sperm whale carcasses show that their main food is giant squid, common squid, octopus, and stingrays living in deep seas. With a unique mouth structure and huge size, can open its mouth to more than 1 meter wide, sperm whales can easily swallow soft-bodied prey such as squid. In addition to hunting by detecting and quickly swallowing prey, some evidence also suggests that sperm whales can use their lower jaws to scrape the seafloor, stirring up sediment to reveal creatures hiding below. This is a rarely recorded hunting behavior, but is increasingly supported by field observations. In fact, a hypothesis proposed by biologist Richard Ellis in 2002 suggested that sperm whales may attract prey by using light emitted by bioluminescent bacteria living in their mouths or teeth. These bright spots in the darkness of the deep ocean may act as bait to attract curious squids to approach, at which point the sperm whale simply opens its mouth to swallow. Ambergris, a precious gem from the belly of sperm whales. One of the little-known secrets about sperm whales is the formation of ambergris, a rare and extremely valuable aromatic substance in the perfume industry. Ambergris is not produced intentionally, but is an extremely rare byproduct of the sperm whale's digestive system. This species often swallows indigestible parts of giant squid, especially the beak and hard tissues. In most cases, these pieces will be vomited out as a self-defense reflex. However, less than 1% of sperm whales do not vomit, but allow these objects to continue passing through the intestines. Here they will be covered by a layer of wax secreted from the digestive system, and after a long period of formation and precipitation, ambergris is born. Initially, ambergris has a foul odor, but after being exposed to airlight and time, it will develop into a characteristic pleasant aroma and have the ability to retain the scent for an extremely long time. Because of this characteristic, ambergris is likened to gold floating on the sea and is sought after by high-end perfume brands such as Chanel or Dior. On the international market, the price of ambergris can reach up to 40,000 USD kildollars, nearly 1 billion VND, making it one of the most expensive natural substances on the planet. However, the legal possession of ambergris depends on the wildlife protection laws of each country. However, because sperm whales live in deep seas, humans rarely collect ambergris directly from the fish. Instead, ambergris pieces are often found washed up on shores, especially in the Indian Ocean, the Caribbean, or the coast of Africa. Whenever someone picks up ambergris, the international media calls it winning the ocean lottery. Sperm whales are not only physically remarkable, but they are also one of the animals with the most amazing ability to communicate and learn socially. Thanks to their sophisticated sound system, they can create unique sequences of clicks, not only to hunt, but also to identify signal and maintain social relationships between individuals in the same group. What is special is that each group of sperm whales uses a separate sound system, which is likened to a regional language in humans. These sounds have a characteristic rhythm frequency and repetitive structure, acting like a voice or dialect. Scientists call these separate sound patterns codas, a form of cultural communication code between groups. Research by Professor Hal Whitehead, Dalhousie University, Canada, shows that groups of sperm whales living in different regions can develop different languages but are still able to learn from each other when interacting. This suggests that sperm whales are not only communicative by instinct, but also capable of cultural learning, a characteristic of highly intelligent animals like monkeys, elephants, and even humans. In addition, the social relationships within sperm whale groups are very close. They live in matrilineal pods in which females and young stay together for life, while males leave the pod when they reach adulthood to roam and connect with other groups. The coordination between individuals, especially when protecting their young or when hunting, suggests a complex and effective social organization system, something that is rare in deep-sea species. In the wild, sperm whales have virtually no significant natural enemies except for rare attacks from killer whales orca. However, their most persistent and dangerous enemy in modern history has been humans, through the whaling industry. In the 18th and 19th centuries, when whaling techniques were in full swing, sperm whales often used a defensive strategy called marguerite formation, adults forming a circle with the calves in the middle, ready to use their tails to fight back. Although this tactic was very effective against killer whales, it also made them easy targets for whalers because the whales gathered in a circle, not running away, making it easier for hunting ships to approach and attack. However, surprisingly, this behavior changed after only a few years. According to Professor Whitehead's analysis of whaling history, the success rate of sperm whale hunts in the North Pacific dropped by nearly 58% in just a decade. It wasn't because humans got worse at shooting, but because sperm whales learned to avoid it. Instead of gathering in circles, groups of sperm whales began to split up and swim upwind, making it difficult for hunting boats to approach them with the wind. This new behavior did not come from genetic evolution, but rather from social learning. When one group learned an escape strategy and passed it on to another through observation and communication. This is considered one of the clearest examples of non-human cultural intelligence in the wild. Sperm whales not only responded to threats, but also changed their tactics over time, learning from each other and adapting to human behavior. This has led marine biologists to increasingly respect and appreciate the cognitive abilities of these seemingly alien deep-sea animals. Despite being a symbol of strength and intelligence in the deep ocean, sperm whales have not escaped the harsh impacts of human activities. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, sperm whales are currently listed as vulnerable, meaning their numbers are at high risk of declining if not properly protected. In the past, this species has suffered from large-scale hunting for the economic value of spermaceti and ambergris. From an estimated 1.1 million individuals at the beginning of the 20th century, the global sperm whale population has plummeted to only about 300,000 individuals today. Although many countries have banned whaling, the consequences are still lingering. Now, sperm whales are facing new, more dangerous, but more invisible threats. These include ocean plastic pollution, submarine cable accidents, collisions with cargo ships, and especially man-made noise from sonar and submarines, which disrupts navigation and hunting behavior and communication. In addition, climate change is altering ocean currents, water temperatures, and food sources in the deep sea, which sperm whales depend on for survival. All of these factors are gradually pushing these majestic animals into a difficult position. However, the good news is that the international scientific community is increasingly interested in conserving sperm whales, not only because of their ecological role, but also because of what they can reveal to humans about non-human intelligence. Whale language research projects such as Project SETI are using artificial intelligence to decode their communication systems, aiming to better understand the connection between culture and cognition in the wild. Sperm whales are not just giants of the deep sea. They are also symbols of adaptation, intelligence, and survival in the natural world. From their giant brains, deep diving mechanisms, powerful sound waves, to their culture of learning and resistance to humans, each of their behaviors is a fascinating chapter in the unfinished book called The Ocean. If you find these things as amazing as they are, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmic Y and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos exploring the world's most fascinating scientific mysteries.